What's going on, Cancer? And welcome to the Chariot Friends. Justin here, and I hope you're feeling fantastic today. So, for those of you who are returning, welcome back, Soul Tribe. I appreciate your subscriptions, your likes, and shares. Your support really is just amazing, Cancer. And it keeps us growing. And for those of you who are new, welcome. I'm happy Higher Self has brought you here. We are in for an amazing journey. So the purpose of this channel, for those of you who have Cancer in your placement, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, wherever, Cancer, this one's for you. And I do tarot card spreads based off our ruler here, the good old Moon. I'll talk about what sign she's in, what phase she's in, and when she's going void, of course. Just all those lunar shenanigans. And just so you're all aware, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one. So take what resonates with you, leave the rest with me. Never force a reading on a situation, and everything will be dope, Cancer. Now, let's jump into it. Your space has been cleansed. Gems, feeling lovely. Just great energy all around here, Cancer. And I mean, how could the energy not be lovely? Because the moon is in Libra. This is a really nice placement. Because with the moon being in Libra, oh, yeah, dope. But with the moon being in Libra, Cancer, Libra is a sign of one of the aspects that they cover is relationships, whether that be romantic, familial, business. So this could be a great time for you, Cancer, to strengthen some bonds, maybe connect with some people, or even just do some general socializing, hit up some friends, go to an event, whatever that's looking like. And, couple that too with, Libra is a sign of beauty and art and things like that. So this could be, while we're out with friends, maybe we go to like a symphony or something. Cancer, look at you, so cultured. Go to like an art festival, or go to maybe like a craft class or something along those lines. It's just anything to just really kind of strengthen those bonds and brings more harmony in your life, Cancer. But something too to pay attention to as well, because Libra weighs all of their options, you might notice that you might be a little indecisive during this time. So just if we're finding ourselves kind of in just kind of fence sitting, then maybe we might want to hit up someone, at least have like a sounding board, get like a second opinion on this thing, Cancer. But then the moon is in a first quarter phase as well, and with the first quarter phase, this is just making sure that our words are aligning with our actions, So whatever it is that you set out, whatever intention that you set out during this lunar cycle, just making sure that everything is going according to plan, that we're charting our progress. And if there are any tweaks that need to be made, absolutely make them, because it happens, especially when we're getting into when we're really kind of getting in a groove, that's when usually life starts, throwing your curveballs. Make sure, get to testing your resolve for whatever it is that you set out to be. So just be flexible and be kind with yourself during this energy, Cancer. Excuse me. And then last couple of things. These readings that I do, they're not gender-specific readings, so apply these energies to people as they make sense for your situations. And then the decks that I'm working with, I've included links for them down in the description box below, so definitely check that out if you're interested there, Cancer. Nice. So you got the 9th card of Taurus is here, which is the Still card. And with this card, this is a card of, and I loved all this Venus energy here, because Venus rules both Libra and Taurus. Oh, Cancer is about to be harmonious, because this is a card of refinement, taste, culture, style, fine-tune, concentrate, develops over time, purify, filter, draw out, infusion, spirits, alcohol, perfume, reduction, and cultivation. And when this card pops up, Cancer, I always feel like that this is like kind of asking us, like if we've been maybe overindulging in something, whether this be, however this may look, maybe it might be alcohol, maybe it's been food, maybe it's been whatever, maybe whatever vice it might be, Cancer. I feel like this card just kind of reminds us every now and again just to, set aside time to just, purify the body, maybe do, and listen, this isn't health advice or anything, but this can even be maybe if we're, I was just actually talking with someone about caffeine and things too. Maybe we've been on a caffeine kick, been kind of feeling a little wired, but sometimes it's nice to just like sort of reset the body. Just really, what better way? And I feel like especially for us being a sign that, you know, feels like we do, and I know that deals with emotions, but when we got body things on top of that, that can make us, that can interfere with, like, I feel like the signals, Cancer, you know, it gets it, because then our focus is here, it gets us in a, you know, it changes the focus. So I feel like just, you know, every now and again, taking that time to, you know, take a week to, you know, make sure just like to do some extra hydration, or make sure that we're just getting out to like moving the body and things along those lines. Any sort of like purifying stuff. How's you know, we're surrounded by, because even a little bit broader, Cancer, you know, we were surrounded by, depending on, you know, maybe if we're living in the city, for example, you know, if you got a lot of noise, you know, just cacophonous sounds, it's just like maybe we can get away for a weekend, you know, get into a more quiet environment. Or if we've been around a lot of strong smells, maybe we like some incense or something along those lines, or get some air flowing through, something along those lines. But and even like too, you know, Taurus is a sign of the senses. Even like with the food that we might be eating, you know, it's like, have we noticed that maybe like a lot of spicy things gets our, you know, body doesn't like that, or maybe we're not, I'll tell you what, dairy's always been kind of weird with me anyway, but I tell you what, as I get older, there's like, especially like ice cream, we've had to completely cut that out because there's like no forgiveness. So just like paying attention to those little things, Cancer. It's all about fine-tuning fine-tuning and refining ourselves as we grow on this journey, and just adapting to how the body changes each cycle. So just something to think about there, Cancer. But considering us too being such a cyclical sign, you know, you really tune into that. But let's get some tarot on this and get some more details. All right, Cancer. So we got the Page of Cups, the Five of Swords. Okay. Oh, there we are. Interesting. Okay. So yeah, we got the Page of Cups, small little reversal storm here. Page of Cups, Five of Swords, Four of Cups, and then the Chariot, all in reverse here. And so I really feel like with this energy, Cancer, because sometimes with the Four of Cups, I feel like this card can be, because this is the moon in Cancer. And when the moon's at home, I feel like what a great time to really be kind of paying attention to where our feelings are at, you know, and just where the body's at just in general. But the Four of Cups can be, this Four of Cups can be like a card where sometimes we can ignore those signals. We know that this stuff is, you know, like we might be feeling, like for example, like I was saying, like let's say the spicy things is like our, like you notice that you have like maybe get like acid reflux, but it's just like, yeah, but we still like spicy stuff. It's just like, okay, where that's fine and all, but it's just like, is that really helping us move along here? Are we? And I know that may seem, that's kind of an interesting example, but if it's affecting the flow of this journey, because even stuff like that, I mean, that's because, you know, when you think about that when you get that acid reflux, and that's, you know, if that's happened around your sleep time, you ever try sleeping with that? That's the worst. And I just feel like that is just really paying attention to paying attention to just the signals in the body, but also I feel that because sometimes we can get in this place where I feel like it's like, well, everybody else can kind of do all these things here, why can't I do that? And it's just like, well, everybody's built differently. And I know that can seem unfair, but it's just like, it's how something might affect one person is like how it's affected might affect another. I was just talking with someone not too long ago. I've just recently not recently, but just cut out. I was talking with a friend and I was telling them, like, they were asking me as far as like, because I don't drink, and they were like, oh, well, what about like, you don't even want to just do like a glass of wine? And it's just like, where I hear you, it's just that it affects my body differently than it does yours, where you can be, where you're, you got your limit, you got eyes on that thing, or you got, a handle on it. It's just like there for some others, it's a little bit trickier, sometimes again, it might be, it kind of stinks sometimes. You may not feel like you're having fun or maybe something along those lines, but Cancer, it's these sort of like things, these noticing this stuff about your body and paying attention to that stuff, like when we let go of those things, new stuff kind of fills in. That gives the universe space to fill up that cup with something else. Because it's just like, oh, okay, they don't like feeling this way. They've noticed that this lowers their vibration, and now they're trying to raise it. So then the universe brings in some more abundance. It fills in that void. So I hope that makes sense. But I just feel like when we're doing this thing, I feel like a difficult thing, there's just talk with that friend scenario. It's like that could be something too where we may need to, if we're doing like maybe like a detox or something along those lines, that may be something where it's just like, let people around you know, it's just like, hey, where this is not any kind of judgment on you. This is just something I've noticed that like I gotta take a moment and just recalibrate here, figure out this thing, but we can still kick it once I get done, but and I hope that makes sense. But when we're thinking about this purification and just like, doing, cleansing the body, it's all worth it in the long run, Cancer. I feel like every now and again, just doing yourself, just some kind things, because the body does a lot, even when we're still eating right and, and taking care of ourselves, we take so much stuff between like, like cell phone signals to just like everything in the environment, the noises, and just, it's a lot. So, just taking these moments and just, cultivating calm in our lives. All right, Cancer. Let's see what it might be some challenges with working with this energy. Okay, Cancer, is that old Knight of Wands again. So we got the Knight of Wands in reverse here, and then we have the Ten of Wands upright. And so some challenges, Cancer. I feel like honestly is just getting this thing started. Whatever that, if we've noticed, that there's something that we want to refine or to just kind of fine tune or just like, kind of change things up. Sometimes that stuff can be hard to get started because, we do have, maybe the social circle that we hang out with not that it's not that they don't support it. It's just that when they're not working on it, it's something that's not actively on their mind, other than you. So that's something where that may take a moment to get used to, depending on how this cycle may work or, depending on when you're doing this. And that can feel like a bit of a burden. It can feel like a lot of work and things, and that you might be kind of like, and I don't want to say that it's like torture per se, but it's just like it makes it the challenge, just that like it just adds a little extra challenge on top of that. But I feel that if things have been feeling a little heavy in dealing with this thing, let's find some stuff that we can fill this space with. Like, for example, considering that I don't drink, I'll still go out to bars with my friends. It's just like, I'm just going to be the guy drinking, I'll be drinking soda water over here, and it's like, it doesn't affect, because I feel like sometimes to a challenge, it can feels like it can, when we're doing these sort of like things, it can feel like it's not like maybe that we're not having fun, or that maybe we won't be as funny or as enjoyable as we were when maybe we were, you know what I mean, Cancer. But the thing is, outside things don't influence, or you know what I mean. Oh, let me put this in a different way. Like that fun you that, like, just since we're talking about alcohol, that fun you that that you think only alcohol can bring out, that person is in you all the time. It's just he's only been, or they've only been, they've only been able to come out through this one outlet. You know, now it's like, now that we're focusing on this thing, it needs to, it's like the brain almost, like, it's like the body's rewiring. It's almost just like, oh, okay, so we're not doing this. So it's like, I might have to adjust a little bit. Might be a little awkward at first, but it's Cancer, you don't really lose your groove. I feel like most of that stuff is just all the things that we kind of can create in our head at the end of the day. So, you know, I feel like don't let that keep you from taking action and giving this thing a try, because you can still, this is Leo energy. First two decans of Leo, last to Cancers. You can still have a whole bunch of fun, Cancer, while you're out, and, you know, and build bonds. And who knows, maybe this will give others, people, they could use you as a reason to take a break as well, you know, if that's needed to be, Cancer. Because again, this is not like it's like a thing where it's like you have to do this stuff, or that you're less than if you're not doing this thing. It's just more of a, again, just, we're all unique, and just making sure that we do what works for us, and try not to be something that we're not if it's not working for you. I hope that makes sense. All right, Cancer. Let's get some advice from well, who are we getting advice from? From Venus. All right, Cancer, last little bit here. Oh, Cup City. Wow, Cup City. Oh, jeez. Okay, Cancer. So you have, what do we have here? So we have the Five of Cups and the King of Cups in reverse here. And then we have the Eight of Cups, the Ace of Cups, and then the Seven of Swords upright. And let's go ahead and switch back over. Because with this energy, Cancer, you know, I feel like some advice. If we've been, again, if there's something that has been, you know, maybe got you throwing the body out of whack, whether this be alcohol, maybe what if this is a vice, or if we've just been wanting to just purify the body just cause, you know, we've just been going through a lot. I feel like, you know, really take this, however long this cycle is looking like, fill up all of your cups. Pay, you know, Ace of Cups. You know, think about these things, that Eight of Cups. You know, what do we want to let go? What has been disappointing us in the past? You know, what have we been, no matter what it seems like we keep doing, the same thing keeps happening, then let's adjust that. But the thing too, with the Seven of Swords, Cancer, we do need to be honest with ourselves. You know, if we do notice that we're having adverse effects to things, you know, however that's looking like. And again, this isn't medical advice, but it's just more so to get you really kind of feeling your body and really tuning into yourself and understanding how you operate, you know, and that's nothing that no one can dictate that other than you, Cancer. And listen, you know what? If we're doing this thing and you say we got people feeling some kind of way, I mean, let them feel some kind of way. This is your growth. It's your journey. You know, we want to be around people who are trying to raise our vibration, you know, and who are trying to, because we're doing the same for them. Focusing on you is focusing, you know, it's going to help them in the long run, because you're at your highest, right? You know, you're at a higher vibration too. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I really feel like that it's, because here's the thing too, Cancer, because we are such an emotional sign and such a feeling sign, like it really does, if our energies are being channeled on something else, then it's like it takes our eyes off other things, you know. It's like we're so just when we're thinking with this energy, let me wrap this up here. If it's got you feeling out of balance, you know, if we're noticing that our head, you know, it's not resonating with us anymore, then how do we filter that out? You know, and it's because, you know, again, Cancer, the life is not just about just letting a whole bunch of stuff go. It's filling that space with newness. Now that we have all this, you know, now that we've made this space, it's just like, ooh, you know, you could do, maybe we take up a hobby, you know, maybe we're doing some art, maybe we're going for a walk instead, you know, however you get it all figured out there, Cancer. But I think I'm gonna leave that there, and I hope that made sense, Cancer. But oh, and Cancer, interesting start here, but happy Monday. But all right, Cancer, I think I'm gonna leave that there. But if anything resonated with you, give it a thumbs up and share this, Cancer. You know, if we're been thinking about just fine tuning and just like, you know, purifying the body and stuff. Because I mean, it really is nice to just, even if we're not, because again, this is not me saying that you got to cut something out, but even if we're just like, excuse me, taking like just like a spell. I know someone who, I think it's like every month, just on the alcohol thing, you know, every month I think they make it a point, like the first week of the month, like they don't drink anything. And not that they're like, you know, not that there's like a problem or anything like that, but it's just more so just like a personal thing that they do. They just like to break stuff up. Another person I know, they like to do, they'll do like the, what is it? I think it's like every quarter of the year, or every like 3 months or so, they like to do a, what is that? Oh, it's a food thing. Oh, it's escaping me right now, but it'll come back. But doing those little things, just trying stuff out here, seeing how that goes. But yeah, share this, and then I say, where are we at? Subscribe, hit that bell button. About to get back into your reading, and subscribe, hit that bell button. You get notified when I release videos each week. And then, you know, while we're doing this stuff, you know, what a better way to couple this maybe with some meditation. I'm on this, I've been on this meditation app, Insight Timer, and it's just an app for, and I created a group on there called Zodiacs Raising the Vibration. And it's a group that is for posting positive affirmations, encouraging messages. I mean, talk about your tales, Cancer. Tell about how ways that you may purify and that you may reset the body every now and again. And, you know, as the group grows, definitely want to do some meditation groups, maybe moving on, keeping it moving with the Chariot, something along those lines. That's sick. I like that one. But all that information, Cancer, is in the description box. And then last thing, check while you're doing this stuff, learning about yourself, you know, learn your sun, your moon, your rising. You know what, Cancer? You know, if you got your date, place, and time of birth, that'll be dope, because then you can look into your aspects. Because that was one of the reasons why I had chose to really kind of double down on quitting, because I have a little behind the scenes about me real quick, and I'll get you out of here. I have one of my strongest, my second strongest aspect is that my sun is conjunct my natal, natal sun is conjunct Neptune. Or excuse me, not conjunct, opposition Neptune. And that's it gets in tricky kind of realms there, but you can learn when you get eyes on that. It's just like, wow, I could have used that like, you know, 15 years ago, but it's fine. You know, better now that we know it, but it's just something to think about there, Cancer. And then when you get done with all that, come on over to my other channel, Alchemist 8. I do videos weekly there. They got different themes. I do like a weekly, got a monthly. Our yearly one's coming up here soon, Cancer. But all that housekeeping down in the description box below. But let me get your surprise cards here so I can get you out of here. You got the Three of Wands upright. And then while I'm shuffling for your Oracle card, the Three of Wands is a card of expansion and of opportunities, and that's what happens too. You know, when we listen to the body and start drawing out some of those, the things that are no longer resonating with us, you know, that's like that really cause more harm than good, then it opens up new opportunities. It helps us to tune into our intuition more, into ourselves more, get that sense. Because when you think about it, even like the Ace of Cups, speaking of Taurus and the senses, usually in other Ace of Cups, there's like 5 streams that are flowing out of this cup, and they signify your 5 senses. And then the bird, usually like a bird that's diving in, that's supposed to be like your 6th sense coming in. But it's like when we make those connections with ourselves, tune into the senses and find things that may be affecting that helps that message come through clear, because now we really are in tune with our bodies in a way that it's fantastic. Absolutely. I love this. You got the Palo Santo card, which is the Guardian card, and this is ruled by the South Node and Pluto. And I feel like that's what happens, you know, when we learn from ourselves, because the South Node deals with kind of like our past life kind of stuff. My South Node is in Cancer, funny enough. But I feel like when we learn this about ourselves, Cancer, then that allows that change to be, it makes that change a lot easier. And I love this. I love how this, you see this wolf here is like connecting with its like its guardian spirit here. It's super sick. And I feel like that would be you connecting with your higher self when we focus on this stuff here. Because Cancer, you know how intuitive you are. We're really receptive signs. So anything to kind of clear those channels up and get those signals, I feel like absolutely. But yeah, I think I'm going to leave that there, Cancer. And I'll tell you what, Palo Santo, that's another good one while we're talking about incense and things. You know, if we want to light some stuff to kind of cleanse the energies. Oh, Palo Santo is fantastic. So, all right, Cancer, I think I'm going to leave that there. So you stay safe out there. Thinking about all this purification and stuff, and raise your vibration through the roof. Keep eyes on the moon, meditate with her. Think about be thinking about this stuff. If there are any areas that you want to and then what do you want to infuse, what do you want to replace that with? What are we trying to work in, what new stuff are we going to try to work in? And then I will catch you on the next one tomorrow.